The Royal Rumble is the event that every wrestling fan looks forward to. Shocks, surprises and disappointing number 30 entrants have been served to us by WWE for over 30 years. The joy of a Rumble comes in the fact that the winner isn't always obvious, except sometimes, when it is. But 2019 looks like one of those years in which the winners aren't telegraphed. There are a number of names that could feasibly go on to win and wrestle for the title at WrestleMania 35. In this video, myself, Dan and Connell all give our picks for who we want to win the 2019 Women's Royal Rumble match. Please remember that these aren't predictions, these are who we want, not who we think. Now, Becky Lynch seems the obvious pick here, but I'm not going with Becky Lynch. I'm going to go with Ember Moon, and I think, you know, I made the joke in the intro at the start of this video, kind of saying, you know, that sometimes the winners are obvious, and I think Becky is an obvious winner. Now, I'm not against Becky winning the Royal Rumble at all. If Becky won the Royal Rumble, that would be absolutely sensational. You know, if she went on for a one-on-one match against Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania, absolutely fantastic. But I think there are other ways they could go about making that match, and I don't think at this point Becky needs to win the Rumble. I like the idea of the Rumble being used to make a star. You know, I was about to use Shinsuke last year. I guess that's what they tried to do. It didn't work. You know, I don't like the idea of the top dog winning the Rumble. And Becky is very much that. Becky is, like, it's a fact, Becky is the most over character in WWE. There's no doubt about that. So for her to win the Rumble, it would make all the sense in the world, but I think that it should go to someone else. And that someone else I've chosen is Ember Moon, because poor Ember, she hasn't got going, has she? Much like pretty much every NXT call-up. Andrade Almas, AOP, every NXT call-up of 2017. I'm forgetting someone, I'm sure I am. But yeah, it's been pretty dreadful for them. And Ember, you know, she is really good. She is absolutely fantastic in the ring. Promo's not exactly fantastic. She always throws a corny line about the moon or something in there. But she's fantastic in the ring, and I think she deserves to win. Now, here's how I would structure it, because I want Becky versus Ronda at Mania. You know, that's what I want to happen, and it's what I think should happen. Absolutely. So you have Ember win the Rumble, right? Ronda comes out, and because of what happened at TLC, she either calls out Becky or Becky and Charlotte for a match at WrestleMania. I think, you know, Ronda's meant to be this badass, you know, conquer-all champion. She can challenge Becky and Charlotte. She can say, I want to fight you. I think that works absolutely perfectly. She's got gripes with both of them. You know, Charlotte attacked her at Survivor Series with the kendo stick. Becky did the, you know, they were building towards a Survivor Series match. Obviously, Nia Jax happened, but they've still been going at it on Twitter ever since then. And there's been little hints and stuff, you know, in promos that that's the direction they're going in. So I think you just have Ronda flat out call out either Becky or Becky and Charlotte for the match. Then you've got Ember. You know, the winner gets to choose which champion they face. Ronda's the Raw Women's Champion. She's preoccupied. You've got Ember Moon, and you've got the SmackDown Women's Champion, Asuka, at WrestleMania. You know, the Takeover Dream match, the NXT Classic that is Asuka against Ember Moon. I think that will be absolutely sensational, and I think it gives a good way to have Becky and Ronda and Charlotte doing whatever they're doing, and still use the Rumble to build someone else. I don't see where, if Becky wins the Rumble and goes against Ronda, I don't see where you get the other championship challenger from. I don't see a decent way of doing it. But I think Ronda calling out Becky, and then Ember winning and challenging Asuka, I think that would be the pretty much perfect way to go in terms of winning at WrestleMania. So yeah, Ember Moon is who I would pick to win 2019 Women's Royal Rumble.
My pick for the Women's Royal Rumble in 2019 is Ruby Riott. Because let's take a look at the women's division. We've got Natalya, we've got Becky Lynch, who probably will be in a title match. We got Charlotte, we got Sasha Banks, we got Bayley, we got maybe Alexa Bliss. And it feels like we've already been there. Becky has reinvented herself, so that's granted. She might also have a fair shot at the Royal Rumble win if she's not in a title match. But the rest of the women, I feel like it's time for somebody new. And who better than Ruby Riott? Riott has the look, she can wrestle, she has got some repetitive matches, but that's not her fault on Raw. But if they pull the trigger on Ruby, she will be just phenomenal, because she has such a presence in the ring. And I love her entrance theme, the new version. The old version was not that great, but the new version is awesome. She got like Liv and Sarah Logan by her side, and the Riot Squad will tear down this Women's Royal Rumble. They will dominate it, but because they're friends, Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan will actually, either get eliminated or leave the ring for Ruby Riott. So like kind of a legacy dynamic we had back in 2008 or 2009. And well, it's time for Ruby Riott to shine. I can definitely picture her with the Raw Women's Championship in 2019, and she's just brilliant. So I believe she will be well suited for the top spot on the Raw Women's division.
The Women's Royal Rumble this year, I think, is slightly more predictable than the men's, but I don't think it's as predictable as people are making it out to be. Because I see in my mind that the triple threat with Becky, Ronda and Charlotte is the direction they're going to go in. But this isn't about who you think is going to win, this is about who you think should win. And as I said in the men's video with Seth, you need to give the Royal Rumble win to the person who deserves the WrestleMania main event slot the most. And who has been the most consistent women's wrestler, at least of the last 4 months, because I'd say over the whole year it was probably Ronda, but she can't win it because she's the champion. It's Becky. She obviously is the super most popular woman they have on the whole roster, so by default that sort of means she should win it. If you're going to do the first women's main event, you need to have her in there. Another reason is because if they have, say, Charlotte win, then it's going to be sort of a Daniel Bryan situation in 2014, where they obviously really wanted Becky to win, and if she doesn't win, they're going to boo and crap on Ronda versus Charlotte one-on-one at WrestleMania. And they could also do the no one wins from Ronda or Becky and Charlotte to try and do the swerve, but I do not think that is something you should do, because again it could harm, say, Ember or Ruby if they were to win, because they weren't Becky. She's just the choice that you have to go with because it makes the most sense. The whole story arc of her getting redemption, she probably needs to eliminate Nia as well because of that, and just the seeds are already there for the Ronda match, and it's a match people want to see. It's a match that needs to happen, and it needs to be the main event of WrestleMania. So by default, the easiest way to get Becky over to Raw from SmackDown will be to have her win the Royal Rumble and challenge Ronda instead of Asuka. You could even do she starts from number 1 and lasts the whole way thing, but I'm not sure if you should, because she was at the start last year as well. But that is also something else you could do. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how she wins it. All that matters is that she should, and hopefully will. And that wraps up who we'd like to see win the Women's Royal Rumble match. Remember to let us know who you'd like to see win and headline WrestleMania by leaving a comment below. And follow us on Twitter at WrestleVisionYT for regular content updates and notifications. If you enjoyed the video, hit like, subscribe and turn notifications on. Thanks for watching, and remember, follow the vision.